Welcome back to the channel, guys. Back with another Vinegar Syndrome review for you guys. Again, I didn't do these when I did the unboxing because it takes forever to edit a really long video, and you guys don't want to watch me for an hour and a half. So, a few of you do, but no, it's cool. It is a really long time, so I'm going to do these separately. And going to start with the VSA release for the October package, which was Necromancer. There's the back, all that good stuff. Looks like a really good time, right? Really good cheesy 80s fun and all that good shit. Love 80s movies, early 90s. They're probably my fucking favorite. And I love the weird fashion and all that shit. Love the 80s music. Of course, being born in the 80s. Didn't really grow up in the 80s, I'll say. I wasn't like a teenager in the 80s, so... but I still, that was like a weird time for a lot of things. Like I said, lots of weird fashion and music choices and things like that. But I was really excited for this one. And it's only 88 minutes long. I threw it in one night. I was already kind of tired. I was like, fuck, it's 88 minutes. Should be a good, entertaining time. I was a little disappointed. But we'll get into all that here in a sec. Going to try to make this review as short as possible because I just did an hour live stream where I talked nonstop for an hour. I'm already kind of fucking this up. So I'm already pretty exhausted from that. You guys don't realize like how exhausting it is to do these videos. You guys that do them understand what I'm saying. Just doing like a half-hour review or something, it takes stuff out of you. Like it's I don't know. So yeah, you got demonic forces from the depths of hell. When simple revenge is not enough. So again, I was pretty excited for this, but let's read the synopsis here on the back, okay? Let's do that. I'll just go with that route. Julie Johnson, a young college co-ed, is savagely gang raped by a trio of men that attempt to blackmail her into staying silent. As Julie attempts to put her life back together and deal with her now suspicious boyfriend, she learns a strange fortune teller who professes to have the ability to exact revenge through supernatural means. After visiting the woman who senses her trauma, Julie is possessed by a demonic force that punishes her attackers in the most fitting way possible: castration and death. A supernatural take on the rape and revenge storyline. Dusty Nelson's from Effects, which is his only other movie that I really recognized. I'll get into a little bit about the director here in a second. Necromancer was written by William Nod, who was the writer for another Vinegar Syndrome release of Whodunit, aka Island of Death, which is what it's listed as on IMDb, and is the only other thing that I really recognize from him. So, and features a supporting performance from Russ Tamblyn from Satan's Sadist, colorfully photographed and oozing with 80s B-movie charm. Vinegar Syndrome Archive presents Necromancer on disc for the first time, newly restored in 4K from the original 35mm negative. So I take it this never had a DVD release or anything. It says on disc. So I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I thought somebody said they had a DVD of this. Here's your innards, all that good shit. There's the disc. We'll get into the features and stuff here in a little bit. So yeah, Necromancer. Again, I was pretty disappointed in this one. Mainly because it just didn't keep my, I'm not gonna say it didn't keep my attention, but it just wasn't that entertaining. I felt like it could have been a lot more than it was. But part of the reason for that, and I'll get into the story here in a second, but part of the reason for that is during the interview with the director, which I normally put these at the end, but I will put this up here now for you guys. There was an hour-long interview with Dusty Nelson. Dusty wasn't a horror fan, okay? And he came into this project after the original director. They didn't really say if he was fired or he quit on his own, whatever. I didn't look into it any further than watching the interview. He took this project over from another director. So a lot of this movie was already shot and everything like that. So I'm sitting here the whole time watching this movie, trying to figure out what went wrong. You had a good plot line, storyline to work with on this, and it just failed to achieve what it set out to achieve. So again, he's not a horror fan. He even says in the interview, horror movies give him nightmares. He doesn't want anything to do with them, pretty much. Also, during the interview, he doesn't remember a whole lot from this movie. So, it doesn't sound like something he wanted to really hold on to in his career and everything. He did it because he saw an opportunity to, direct something. He worked on like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood as part of the crew and things like that for I believe like 6 episodes. He did 1 episode of Tales from the Dark Side. I think after this actually, which is kind of interesting. Could have been before. I don't know. Again, I didn't do a lot of homework. That one was called The Unhappy something. I wrote it down, but I can't read my own writing. Yeah, so he didn't really go on to do a whole lot. Sounds like he should have stuck with the horror genre. But again, wasn't his bag. So
I don't even know what this is. This sort of thing ain't my bag, baby.
It's just really disappointing that you have somebody direct a horror flick that doesn't like horror movies. But it does explain a lot of why this movie kind of failed to achieve what it set out to do. So anyway, so back to the story. You have Julia Johnson is the main chick in here, played by Elizabeth Catan or Catan or something. She is well known in our realm of Vinegar Syndrome for Savage Dawn, Vice Academy 3, 4, 5, and 6, where she played Candy. She was also in Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. She was in Friday the 13th, The New Blood. So very well known in the horror genre, exploitation genre, things like that. For us that collect boutique labels, we definitely recognize those films. And she is absolutely gorgeous, by the way. So I didn't really have a problem with her too much. Yeah, she's not the greatest actress in this, but is what it is. The back here says she's brutally or savagely gang raped. I didn't feel that scene was really, it's a rape scene, so it's going to be disturbing, but I don't feel it was as disturbing as, say, Last House on the Left or something of that nature. The original, or remake, however you want to take it. I've definitely seen more brutal, more disturbing scenes than what was in this. This was a little bit light compared to other films of the same category of your rape revenge films. And she was kind of held down by one character as another character did his thing and another character way off to the side. So savagely, is kind of pushing it. The other guys didn't want anything to do with it. You have the main bad guy was Paul Duchesne, playing the main bad guy in here, or his name in here. I didn't even write down the actor's name. But there is, I believe, an interview with him, right? So, with that being said, it's not that I didn't feel bad for her, but I don't think it was as described on here. Also not described very well is the mention of the with the Necromancer stuff in here, where she is possessed by a demonic force, saying Julia is possessed by a demonic force. I don't think that's correct, because after this happens, after she is attacked by this group of guys, she goes and sees this Necromancer and wants her revenge or whatever, and the Necromancer takes the form of Julia. So Julia isn't necessarily possessed by. She just looks like her. So there's like even a point where there's 2 hers, which I'll get to in a second. Once she goes and sees the Necromancer, it takes a while to for things to start happening to the guys that attacked her. And you also have your subplot of she is fucking the drama theater teacher as well, and she's being kind of blackmailed with that going on. Her boyfriend sees her with the teacher a few times throughout the movie and thinks there's still something going on, which at that time there is not. And he gets his what's what he deserves as well, even though I don't think she wanted anything bad to happen to him necessarily. So the Necromancer kind of takes it upon herself to do this. And the chick that plays the gypsy Necromancer chick, nice mustache, by the way. And you do have another character in here by the name of Ernest, who, and it was even asked during an interview if it was kind of an afterthought for his character, because I kind of felt that too. I don't know if he was there to stop the Necromancer, per se, or he wanted to just be a witch himself, and he wanted to do this stuff too. You don't really get a clear idea of what his character's for. And the guy playing him, I think it was like his first acting. There's an interview with him on here as well. I believe. Despicable Job. Conjuring the Past, an interview with Wade Riddle, who was more of a writer than he was an actor, but he really wanted to be an actor. So there is an interview with that. Like I said, it's called Conjuring the Past, which I'll go ahead and just show now. Again, I usually do these at the end, but I'm just kind of running through this pretty quick. And after doing this, he realized, yeah, my strength really is in writing. So he kind of, quit acting and focused more on writing. He did write some like children's books or something of that nature, and continues to do that today. So that's pretty cool. You realize, hey, I'm not really cut out for this. I'm going to do what I'm actually good at instead of pursuing something I'm not good at and, make a fool of myself. But you notice he wears the same shirt every day throughout this movie. This movie does take place across a few days. So, yeah, cool. But I don't think he really cared. He was just trying to understand how to become a witch and everything. And he was just so invested in this that I don't think hygiene was on the top of his priorities. He did have some nice green to his hair, too. He was a stylist at a very popular hair place out in California, so in LA. So yeah, there is that on here. Like I said, there is an interview with Lee Cole, aka Stan Hurwitz, who played the main baddie in this. A Despicable Job. So those are both pretty short interviews, this one and the interview with the guy that plays Ernest. He talks about a little fluke that happened with it was suggested that he use a butterfly knife from someone, and he does in the movie, and they actually kept a shot in the movie where he kind of fucks up trying to do the cool shit with the butterfly knife and all that. And you learn, it's either in this or the other one with Dusty, where you learn that a couple people working on the film as well, a makeup person and I believe a grip or something, they just threw in the movie in the scene where he does that with the knife, where he's threatening Julia. But yeah, pretty cool interview. Seems like a pretty cool guy. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place because this movie I didn't really have a lot to say about it. I was just kind of disappointed, but I did see there were some people in the Vinegar Syndrome Collectors Facebook group. I put up a little thing, kind of being a smartass, like, I can't believe I was disappointed with this. I expected Oscar-winning acting and cinematography and all that shit. But, and there was some people that replied saying, they really dug this movie and, or they love this movie and all that. And that's cool. That's awesome. I'm glad that you did. It didn't do nothing for me. I expect bad cheese. It's Vinegar Syndrome. It's 80s. It's whatever, It's a VSA release at that, which are going to be even lower than your regular releases, as far as quality and budget and things of that nature. So I didn't expect a whole lot, but I expected a little more than this had to offer. Like I said, you do get that side story with the teacher and all that stuff. I mean, the storyline wasn't bad. The effects of when, and we're going to get into some spoilers now, when the kills take place and it turns into this creature, which, by the way, were done. The hands and stuff of this creature were from a guy. It's not a chick going down on these guys and castrating them. The effects weren't really that great. But it's a low budget B movie. I think they even said they used like some green screen shit going on and stuff like that. They just used whatever was within the budget. So they couldn't really do what they wanted to do. But I mean, that happens a lot. That's fine. That doesn't really bother me. It just has like these like gooey red hands, and the eyes turn green whenever she's about to attack them. And you do finally see her breast once she appears from this necromancer. You know, when she turns into this demon. There's another name they use for it too. I can't remember what they say, but you do finally see that. When she goes to kill these guys, which I will throw the kill scenes in here now. You guys can get a look at what it looks like and everything. And I believe there is one scene in here where one of the guys is getting in the shower, and you can see like a line where he's definitely still wearing some kind of clothing, which, you know, whatever. I don't expect these actors to actually be nude when this is going on, especially when it's another dude down there actually doing this stuff and everything. And there's a scene, I don't know if I'll throw it in there, but there's a scene at the very beginning where this woman is seeing the necromancer, and you kind of get an idea of what she's all about. There's an axe that flies off the shelf in this garage where she does all her seance stuff. And you see the string on the axe there. But, you know, I'm just nitpicking at this point. No big deal. I know it's a low budget movie. They didn't have the money for the great effects, but yeah, I'm getting pretty fucking wore out here. So, like I said, I just did an hour live stream, and I've been talking nonstop. So I'm starting to get on my own nerves. I think I pretty much covered this movie. I mean, it's the old tale of the rape revenge. The guys get what they deserve. The ending of this movie. You have the necromancer turned Julia, and you have Julia fighting each other. You have her boyfriend and her friend in the scene too. Her friend doesn't really do anything besides stand outside the door and bang on the door, and her boyfriend gets tossed aside from the bed really quick, and they're not really relevant to the scene. But sorry, I got a lot of notifications coming up on my phone here. I should have turned those off. But anyways, so you have them battling it out. It goes on for quite a while from what I remember. It's been like a week since I watched it. So that's the other reason this review is going to be pretty short. You're left kind of open, you know, was that really the right Julia that's still alive? It's kind of left open for a sequel, which I don't think we ever got. I believe there's another movie with the same name, but I think it's a whole different premise. So if you guys are looking for this one, make sure you get the right one, which is probably the other one because it's probably better. It's got a 4.1 on IMDb, by the way, and came out in 1988. So, and you do have the professor was most notably known for his role in Twin Peaks, where he played Lawrence Jacoby, Dr. Lawrence Jacoby, back in the original, and then like the do series of it. I guess I've never watched the show, but he's got a bunch of credits in that series. So if you guys are familiar with that show and you know who Dr. Lawrence Jacoby is, that's who plays the drama theater teacher in this movie. So I'm going to wrap this up. It's only been 20 minutes, so I'm going to make this one shorter than usual. If this sounds interesting to you guys, by all means, grab it. Not the worst movie I've seen. Definitely one I probably won't revisit because it just didn't, like I say, entertain me enough. It kept my attention, and I kept waiting for more and more, and it didn't deliver the gore, definitely, and I didn't care enough about the characters either. I cared a little bit about Julia, but the rest of them, I didn't give a fuck. There's some really bad acting in here, especially I'm gonna throw this scene in here at the end and leave you guys with this, but you gotta love lines like this from a movie. Okay, again, I'm gonna throw it in at the end on Paul's way of thinking about what happened with Julia, with another guy involved with raping her. So I'm going to leave you guys with that because it's just classic. It's just Oscar-worthy performance. Okay, so other than that, as always, guys, peace, love, happiness to all y'all. And let me know in the comments what you think of this movie. And again, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. You guys are very appreciated. And don't forget, all the links are in the description if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, even though Twitter is going to be the same thing I post on Instagram pretty much. All that good shit. If you guys want to join the Patreon, if you guys want to donate to the channel, all that good stuff. Amazon wishlist. Again, I don't expect anything from any of you guys. You guys watching is enough for me. Subscribing, that's enough for me. It's more than I can ever ask for. So I do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, morning, night, whatever time it is you watch this. Later.
I know she's telling them everything, man.
Carl, it's 3 people's word against 1. There's a law about that, and the law will protect us.
We broke the law.
Hey, hang with me on this one, man. It takes a lot of courage to keep your life exciting, to dare to be different.
What if she tells somebody?
No insecure bitch can touch us, because we matter. She's just a chick. Am I right?
I hope you're right.
Count on it.